So today, the Democratic House passed their own coronavirus response bill. Nancy Pelosi's bill, there she is. So on this article right here, and I have a link to this in the description of this video, you can get to this NPR article, which has a link for, you can read the bill for yourself. Here has a link that brings you here, and then open it up in PDF, and you can easily search for words. So here we're going to find out how many times diversity is mentioned in this bill, because I heard it was, which seems strange because obviously this pandemic has caused so much pain and suffering for people that are sick, people that are dying, huge impact to the restaurant industry, travel, tourism, air, theaters, sports. So many people have been impacted and really need some assistance. So what does diversity have to do with that? Well, we're going to find out. So let's go through this bill and kind of go through the table of contents first a little bit. And this act is cited as the Take Responsibility for Workers and Families Act. All right, so let's go a little bit down here. Health policies. Now, this makes sense regarding Medicaid, Medicare, make sure these tests are paid for, private insurance, provisions for older Americans, public health policies. Unemployment compensation, absolutely. Enhance benefits, expand eligibility for unemployment compensation, relief for government and nonprofit entities. That sounds vague. I'd be a little bit careful of, like, what governmental entities, why do they need relief? What nonprofits are we talking about? And where this is extremely vague, the next one is like very precise: emergency assistance for rail workers that have been affected by this. Financial services, small businesses, educational relief, colleges, agriculture, oversight and accountability from the government, U.S. Postal Service provisions. Okay, how has members from the U.S. Postal Service suffered? I haven't heard of anybody in the U.S. Postal Service being laid off because of this virus. Federal workforce provisions, same thing. How many federal workers have been impacted and laid off by this? Federal employee collective bargaining and official time. Are you kidding me? In a bill to provide coronavirus relief, we have federal employee collective bargaining and official time. Seriously. All right, so let's see what's going on with this diversity. All right, so improving corporate governance through diversity, improving corporate governance. The Congress is mostly rich lawyers. That's mostly people in Congress. They're not business people. They have no business trying to improve corporate governance. That's not their area of expertise. They don't know what they're doing. So through diversity, there's already been countless studies and countless work on this for many years. Businesses already understand that diversity helps their business. They already know this. To say that this still needs to be shoved down their throat by the government, I think is pretty ridiculous. Let's go to the next one. Diversity. To the extent practicable, each covered regulatory shall ensure that the members of the Minority Depository Institutional Advisory Committee, oh great, another useless government committee, of such agency reflect the diversity of depository institutions. So we're talking about quotas, and we're talking about identity politics. Quotas not based on individual performance, but based on ethnic background or some other trait. Ensuring Diversity in Community Banking Act of 2020. So there's some new act. Diversity reports and best practices, annual report. So each company that receives aid from this $2.5 trillion bill will have to submit to Congress an annual report on diversity, including data based on voluntarily self-identification. So they're going to have to harass their employees every year to give their racial, ethnic, and gender composition. Are they going to be forced to do DNA tests of the examiners of each covered regulatory disaggregated by length of time served as an examiner? Gender diversity among examiners. Okay, and the examiners need to be diverse. And basically, every company will have to have a diversity department to get all this diversity data. And anybody in this diversity department, I mean, what do you do if your full-time job is diversity? Well, you're going to promote diversity, meaning that you're going to be constantly promoting that there isn't enough diversity because, my gosh, if there's enough diversity, why are you needed? So for job security, your job is to constantly promote and drill in. There's not enough diversity. There's not enough diversity no matter what. Otherwise, why are you there? Why are you getting paid? For increasing the diversity of candidates applying for examiner positions, achieving diversity among examiners, diversity of Community Banking Act mentioned again, ensuring diversity of Community Banking Act mentioned again, workforce composition, including data on diversity, including racial and gender composition, and any policies and audits related to diversity. So you also have to do diversity audits. Okay, according to our records, you're supposed to be 50% Hispanic, 30% white, 20% black, and we're going to go around your workforce making sure that that's the case, I guess. Diversity report, oversight, another useless government entity. Let's go ahead and create and have the taxpayers pay for. Aid oversight panel in conjunction with SIGTARP, whatever that is, shall collect diversity data and issue a report. And of course, that's going to lead to quotas. So if you're going to if part of this relief package is give money to the sports industry or Vegas, but with the sports industry, are you going to have diversity quota on athletic teams, on commentators? Supplier diversity. So you're a business, it's not enough that you're diverse. Your supplier also needs to be diverse. Corporate board diversity. Diversity and inclusion offices. You have to now support diversity and inclusion offices with a budget. You have to dedicate a budget. Oh my goodness. Diversity inclusion initiatives. Maintain offices no less than 5 years from receiving these funds. Improving corporate governance through diversity. This was put together by lawyers who knew nothing about running a business. They're in no position to tell companies how to improve their governance. Create accountability to ensure that corporate boards reflect the diversity and perspectives of their community and consumers impacted. Okay, and what if they don't? Then they're penalized. So we're talking about quotas. And what if they have actually less white people than their community? What happens then? Does it go the other way? Submission of data related to diversity issues, once again. And more diversity. Board of directors, we already talked about that. Executive officers. Diversity advisory group, because more government bureaucracy, of course. Can use gender-based, racial, and ethnicity diverse among member of the boards. Okay, they already mentioned that. Board members, among board members. Special consideration for diversity. In issuing the updates required under subsection A, the President shall ensure that consideration is given as to how to minimize the economic impacts of a crisis on women, minority, diversity-owned businesses, veterans, and the disabled. Why not everybody? Wouldn't you think the president should be ensuring consideration as to minimize the economic impacts of a crisis for everyone? And notice what it does here. Women, minorities, diverse-owned businesses, veterans, and the disabled. So basically, if you're a woman, if you're a minority, if you're a diverse-owned business, if you're a veteran, basically you're equated to somebody who has a disability. You're disabled. You're equated to people with a disability. I don't know about you. I am so sick of this identity politics, this race baiting, these people constantly acting like it's 1960 instead of 2020. These people that view the United States of America as a country of racism rather than a country of progress. We are a country of progress. It's 2020. 40 years ago was 1980. Where's all this racism that's happened over the last 40 years? We've made progress. We're less racist than we've ever been. We're more diverse than we've ever been because studies have been done and companies understand diversity helps their business. They've already had these initiatives for years. And I'm so sick of this race baiting. And by the way, this bill is 1,400 pages long. And how does this crap do anything suffering right now from a job loss? Suffering right now, how does this help people? This is Jim Wall. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Cisco, do we have to leave all our good friends now?
Only until next time, Pancho. Adios, amigos.